quite a chunk of money, and we're just talking about 2 customers. And if they want a loan further out there, which I think they will.
I think everybody on that line that hasn't went ahead, because this problem has been going on for several years, and it's just been kind of pushed aside and ignored, and it's gotten so bad at this one residence, it's really come to light here. We've inherited it, but you are going to have more growth out there. Like we were talking today, it's going to be more growth, and they at some point, you know, a $600 tap fee, maybe that should be higher outside of town, if you're saying along with the surcharge.
Are you hooking people on right now, Paxton?
We had one new house put out there last year.
Yeah, I would.
And we did,
Board needs to look at whether that should be done anymore. At this point, with this problem, until it's solved, that doesn't make any sense. That's the kind of thing they would tell you on the moratorium. You can't hook anybody else on.
he put his own booster in. When he was building the house, I had talked to him and I said there have been pressure issues out there. He talked with Frank Dixon. He actually came to me and asked me, and I said, well, there have been. I said, I don't know what your elevation from the tower would be, but that's going to affect it. And when they were doing the brick and mortar, mixing the mortar and spraying concrete down, he decided right then, he just took it upon himself to go ahead and put his own pump in, because he knew it would be a long
Ideally, that's the way to be solved, I think, is, we can provide you the volume of water, but you gotta provide your own pressure.
And I think
outside the limits.
possibly any new homes going in that area, you know, we can tell them that we are fighting that. And if you do want to build and you want to tap onto our system, you have to provide your own booster till our system is upgraded to handle our growth.
Yeah, and I think it'll grow out there. And I think the demand for water will be increased every year from now on. But, and that's going to be factored in our next request for a grant or a bond issue, is to provide enough pressure out there. But
I would recommend the board that any request for water beyond, you know, your last customer there be brought to attention of the board, as opposed to just a blanket approval.
Right.
Given the problems that
No,
they're
this is
encountering.
for new installation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I would like
Outside of town, I
would
guess.
like an answer to that. If we're obligated to provide service outside the city limits.
Once we've already put them on our line.
Yeah, and if you can just at some point say, we can't provide your needs, I'm sorry, but, and it doesn't apply right now, but down the road it may.
I guess what I would contemplate that is more likely is if they do a rate study and it comes out and says, the rate outside is gonna be X amount more, that, you know, you go to your outside customer and say, in order to improve pressure, you know, it's gonna be this. Now, the only issue you have there is if there's a minimum issue requirement, then it's gonna have to be done regardless of what they want or regardless of the cost.
Right.
Yeah.
It has to be fixed.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And also, just if you had a house on inside of town limits, it's also going to affect that pressure, because that's more demand coming out of that tower. It's staying full less. So any new tap or new residential business that we add on at any point in the system is going to affect that.
Okay, I've got a question.
Yes.
Okay, I know you were joking, but let's say, for example, that a existing customer comes back and says, okay, fine, I'm going to put in a well. What are we going to do then?
I don't think you can have a well in town, can you? I'm not 100% on this. I don't think you can have a septic or a well.
One or the other. You got to do one or the other. You provide them a service, or they can drill a well.
Outside town?
Inside town.
No, inside town, if you have a line in front of your house, you have to connect
I
with
know
state
it's
law.
that way with sewer.
With sewer, you
Yeah.
have to, and
I
I would
don't
think
think so.
it's by water.
But, you know, what I'm saying is, what you were saying there is you've got,
You know,
if
Yeah,
all of a sudden
you can't
provide a
well,
service,
not if you got
I
water.
didn't think so.
you can't provide a service someplace, that somebody wants to put in, I want to build a new house. And you can't provide a service. Then what are we going to do? Those are the types of questions.
Inside
There
or
we are.
outside?
I have to answer.
Or say we got a business here 6 months from now that wants to go out here west of town, where around this rail station, and they're gonna need X amount of gallons of water or pressure. and we're gonna say, well, we can't really provide it, cause it's gonna drop the pressure on everybody else.
That's right.
They're gonna go over to Knox County, or they're gonna go to Montgomery and build, or Lagodi, or Bloomfield, it's
You've
something
got
that,
it. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That may be true, but you can still say we can't do it.
yeah.
We don't have,
Yeah.
we don't have the capacity to give you what you want.
Have you guys ever thought about contacting rural water? And just about maybe giving them customers rural water, maybe,
I don't know if they have a line out through there.
it runs down 1400 north, cause I used to live on that road.
But
I don't know how far it goes, but it may be cheaper for you guys to maybe work with them on connecting that line and turning it over with them and getting rid of the
I
headache.
don't think they will though, cause I was told by a good source, they're not even taking on no more new customers right now.
They only did that during the drought, they are taking them back on now. And I have heard that this year they are gonna be installing a bunch of new line. I don't know where, I think it's in the southern part of the county, but I know they are taking new customers. 'Cause
Well,
I did do-
town
I did
likes the
tap
extra
in
customer,
for
I mean,
them
it's
to
just a
have-
matter of,
Right.
Would that cover out where she lives, Maureen?
Yeah, I know that line runs pretty close. I don't know how far, like I
Is
said,
Norman-
the extent
is
cuts
Norman
down
on
to
a problem?
1400.
Norman.
See, I lived on the end of that road,
Right.
and we had rural water, and I know my next couple of neighbors, but I don't know exactly how far it went, but if it goes past Norman's, it wouldn't be that far to run 4-inch line, tap in, cap yours, cap that, and just turn it over and be done with it. It may be an option, I don't know.
brings good revenue to the town, we can supply it, and I think you wanna.
If you can
wanna
supply
do
it.
that
If we
where
can supply it, but, I mean, that's a good point to consider for them few out through there too.
But,
Yeah, if
you
you're
know,
just talking a
eventually,
handful of people.
to allow for growth though, we're gonna have to come up with something to increase
Yeah.
our abilities, our pressure. Because, you
I
know,
don't-
there are other areas, there's certain places in Bechtel Edition that have issues. Some of along Woodhaven Drive, there's some issues. I think you
Well,
have,
sure, I do
you're out there towards the end of the line.
I
that
do
you-
too. But if you're looking at overall system pressure, not just in town, you wanna increase the pressure all over, it's not gonna be some pump, it's probably gonna be another standpipe or another tank.
well,
Something that's gonna put pressure on the whole system, not just in one
Well,
specific area.
There's boosters they can put in to
Put a
control
booster
certain areas.
station.
You can put a booster
Yeah.
station in a lot cheaper than a new standpipe.
Well, then it would be, I would say that it need to be something looked at for the whole town, instead of just this
Yeah.
$150,000
And that's
fix for
something
5
I would-
people,
We'll
or
talk with
however
Brian
many it
on.
is.
We can always switch to the old tag and add on to that tower, would need to be a new one.
Yeah.
But that raises another question, I still have questions about the underutilization of that old tower. I think,
Yeah, I'm not quite sure
that's
why
for another day.
that's
It
done.
is, I'm ready to move on. We can
Yeah.
talk about this all night.
I did
You got-
place it on the